Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is chapter 4 of my life story. I really got to admit that I wrote this quickly last night. I didn't know what I was gonna put. It just kind of just flowed out of me. I was trying to be very brutal and honest. And so it just is, this is chapter 4 of my life story. And so I'm just going to get right into it. So, chapter 4, holding in my emotions. Emotions are a part of life. You feel sad when a loved one passes away. You get angry when someone hurts you, and you fall in love with others. Some people like me might have a problem with holding their emotions in out of fear that people will judge them. In Proverbs 15 verse 4 it says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." I told people about my dream about wanting to be a professional photographer and travel the world. Some said, "You can't make a living doing that," or said that there are too many people who do that. I took this as them basically saying I wasn't good enough. Sorry, that thumping sound was me moving the page lower. So I took it as them basically saying I wasn't good enough to be a professional photographer. This crushed any passion I had for taking photos, and I actually didn't take any photos for years. It's in times like these that I started to hold in my emotions, any new dreams that I have, and new things that I am learning about myself. I forgot to put the A in for about. I keep my opinions to myself out of fear of someone telling me what I said was stupid, that my new dream is a joke, or having them just laugh at me. One thing that I learned about myself recently is that I want to become more healthy, to look and feel healthy. So I am back on Plexus, which is a gut health company. I take the Slim drink, or as I like to call it, the pink drink. It helps with your metabolism, hydrates you, helps you to lose weight, and it is a prebiotic. I also am on a probiotic to help feed the good bacteria in my gut. Did you know that 70 to 90% of all cells in your body is bacterial? That's also why I think it is a great idea to feed our body the nutrients that it needs. The body the nutrition that it needs. I might be changing that. Another thing too, guys, is I am using an app called Bobby Approved for all my groceries, hair products, etc. I scan the barcodes and he says why the item is approved or not. If it is under review, I have another app I use called Yucca. You can scan your item and then it gives you a rating of 1 out of 100. 1 being the worst and 100 being the best. If both these apps don't have the item that I'm trying to scan, I use my last app called Healthy Living. Healthy Living gives you a score of 1 out of 10. 1 is the best score and 10 being the worst. Healthy Living has everything from food to personal care, household cleaning products, and sunscreens. These are just a few apps that I use for my health. Have you ever heard of the brand called Ancient Nutrition? I take the chocolate bone broth in my coffee every morning to help with my knee since I heard it years ago. My coffee routine is very simple. I put 1 scoop of the bone broth in the bottom of a cup and add a little bit of ground cinnamon. I'm drinking my coffee right now, guys. Mix it with a milk frother because it seems sticky, and using a spoon to stir it and mix everything with the coffee, I find it doesn't work that well, whereas using the milk frother really mixes it and dissolves it in with your coffee. I use a Keurig, so that's what I use for that. So after I add the cinnamon, I mix it with the milk frother and then add a little bit of milk. Boom, you're done. That's my coffee routine, guys. I have coffee every morning, 1 cup. My thing for me is I will only do 1 to 2 cups a day. Sometimes not even. Most of the time I have 1 cup. There's the odd afternoon where I feel like I might need like a little bit of a pick-me-up, and so I have a 2nd cup. But this is what I have. So After you add a little bit of milk, you're done. It's like, boom, you're done. I have found out that my knee feels stronger while being on this product. I hurt my knee years ago, guys. If you didn't listen to, I think it's chapter 1 or chapter 2 of my life story, I talk about how I randomly, I was picking weeds out of the garden, my knee was numb or something, and I took I was out of the garden. I was 3 steps out of the garden on the grass, and as I took my next step, my right leg just gave out from underneath me, and I fell onto the grass, onto my knees. But in doing so, I didn't realize that I strained my knee very good. So when I actually sit there and I kick my right knee back and forth, I could feel a popping noise in my kneecap, and so I did get it checked out, and she said, you strained your knee really good, you need to do physiotherapy for 6 weeks. I did it awful, okay? I was not really doing the exercises like I should have. I did it randomly here and there over time, but I didn't do it, and so that's one thing with Ancient Nutrition. It has really helped with my knee. Sorry guys, my computer's very old. So sometimes I'll press a button to go down to get to the next paragraph, and the Word document will freeze or won't start working, so then I gotta wait for it to work. The last thing I'm going to talk about is my hair and skin products. I've used 3 different natural hair products and one of my own. I've used 3 different natural hair products and one of my own. The first brand was called Van Isle Hairstyle. I used it and it just didn't feel right on my hair. My hair felt dry and not very clean after. The next brand I used was Beauty from the Bees. The shampoo felt awful on my hair, just dry and brittle. But the conditioner was very soft and I really enjoyed it. The body serum from here is amazing. I love the feel of it on my skin, and it has a sweet vanilla smell. After I shower, I hit my headphones. Okay, so the body serum from Beauty from the Bees, guys, is so amazing. I love it. It's the first time I used it, it took the dead skin off my shoulders and that. And so when you are done showering, I get out, I dry my skin a little bit, make sure it's still damp, and then I add that in. And honestly, guys, I love this stuff. I'm almost out of the one bottle I'll have, and I have to go get another one. So there's that for my skin. The third brand that I'm using right now is called Karina Organics. Now, I haven't finished the shampoo or conditioner yet, but I can already tell you that my hair feels dry when using the shampoo. I can tell you that I love the conditioner though. Another hair product from here I'm using is the hairspray. I usually don't use hairspray, but I like how fast drying this hairspray is. The bonus is that it has no scent to it. So that's a bonus if you don't like hairspray with a scent to it. Karina Organics has a good hairspray that I like that doesn't have a smell to it. I have realized that I need a good organic moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. So I've ordered a different shampoo and conditioner to try. This one is called Citrus Daily Moisturizing Shampoo, and the conditioner is a deep treatment one. Lastly, I've tried making my own shampoo and conditioner, and it just didn't turn out right. So with that being said, I'm grateful that there are people out there that have an organic, healthy company who is wanting to make natural products that are non-harmful to our bodies. Okay, I have found different products. Van Isle was the first one I used. They had an aloe vera coconut, I think it was, shampoo. I can't remember. It was years ago. But didn't like that one. Then I found Beauty and the Bees, and I thought it was, oh yeah, you know what, it's closer to where I live, it's not so far away to order, so let's try that. And so I was liking it at first. I didn't put that in there, but I was liking it at first. And then I realized, you know what, I love this. I'm going based off the smell and not how it feels on my hair. And so I tried it, and I was just like, no, you know what, I don't like this. It's not good on my hair. The conditioner's good. Don't get me wrong. Most of these places, the Korean Organics and Beauty from the Bees, I've loved the conditioner. It's so soft on my hair. But the shampoo is driving me insane. Like, I need a good shampoo where it, I'm totally gonna ignore that. Sorry guys, it's gonna go off 2 more times before I keep going. 1 more. Nope. Okay, so sorry about the phone going off. So I need a good moisturizing shampoo for my hair. My hair it's not really dry, but it's thick. I got it, I might have a dry, itchy scalp too. So I need a good moisturizing shampoo for that, to help with that. Also to really, I found, what I found out before I actually started using like organic shampoo and conditioner was that I was using moisturizing shampoo from Moroccan Oil shampoo and conditioner, and it was really great with my hair. Plus I was loving the smell of it. But I've learned about myself that I want good healthy ingredients in my shampoo, in my makeup, in the foods that I make, in my house. I'll go more deep into that in my poem, which I'll make a different video for that. But this is just things that I'm trying to do better at. So there's that. So I'm going to continue on to the next paragraph, which says, every night I try to journal and hear God's voice. So I ask him questions like, what is on his heart tonight? How is my future spouse doing? What do I do for a job? Jesus, what do you think about me? What do I do for a YouTube video? These are some of the questions I ask to journal, and then what God says to do, I do. So like today, or last night when I was journaling, he told me to do chapter 4 of my lifestyle book, and then he said to do another video on my future spouse poem series, which I'll get in and I'll make that next video after this. So I just wanted to mention that. I've learned from Diana Larkin that you shouldn't ask God yes or no questions, because the enemy can trick you into believing what he says instead of what God says. Sorry, I'm going to put that in there. Whoops. Instead of what God says. Sorry, I'm trying to... I did this late last night, guys, so it's like I have not proofread it at all. So, because the enemy can trick you into believing what he says instead of what God says. Again, I'm missing a word in there. God's voice is that small, still voice inside of your head that says, you are loved. He will never tell you something that contradicts his word. If it does, then the thought was from the enemy. God is not a liar. He cannot lie. His words will bring life to your soul and peace to your mind. Or peace to your spirit, sorry. When you feel like you can't tell anybody what you're thinking or feeling, go to God with it. He will help you, strengthen you, and give you wisdom to get through this situation or circumstance that you are in. The reason I've written all this... Sorry guys, give me a sec here. Okay. So the reason I've written all this is because I don't want anyone else to feel like what they are thinking or believing for doesn't matter. That there are people in this world who believe in the same things that they do. Also, there are people in this world who have a hard time expressing themselves and who have a hard time believing themselves. I am one of those people. There are days where I think I am doing good at expressing myself, and the next time it seems so hard. It's frustrating, and sometimes it is easier just not to try at all. Don't do this. Just take a deep breath and write down what you are feeling. Ask God why you're feeling this way and let him take the load off of you. God's got you. Trust in him and find your rest in him. I don't like this. It's trying to get me to change God's got you. into like gods, as like there's other gods out there that people believe in. I personally do not. I believe there is one God, and he is God the Father, or Daddy God as I call him, the Father of Jesus Christ, or Adonai, our Lord and Savior. That is what I believe. So when it's trying to get me to change it to gods with a lower G, not gonna do that. So the reason I put this out here is chapter 5, is because I have a hard time expressing what I'm feeling. I hold my emotions in, my opinions a lot. Like, it's something as simple as like my opinion of like, oh yeah, I feel like the Winnipeg Jets are doing great, and I think they can beat whoever they're playing right now. I believe it's Dallas, actually. I believe they can beat Dallas. The thing is, that is my opinion. But when I say something about years ago, and I mentioned this about I mentioned about wanting to be a professional photographer in the beginning of the chapter, it's because that was my dream. In junior high and high school, my dream was to go to college to become a photographer, to travel the world, take photos, sell them on eBay or something, and get paid for them. But I had people tell me that wasn't what I should do. I had people tell me that, oh, you're good with children, you should go into early learning and childcare. Oh, you're good at this, you should do this instead. And the one thing is, I've asked, the one day before I went to college, I believe, actually before I went to college, I was working with kids at Catholic Social Services, actually. And what happened was, the one kid didn't want to go. So I'm ready to go, and then the mom texts me and she's like, sorry, he doesn't want to go today, so you don't have to go to work. Well, at that time, they had just stated that there was a new program, or not a new program, but there was a new thing where you will not get paid if you don't go into the office. So if you didn't have a kid, you would have to go into the office to get paid for that day. Well, I ended up skipping that day, and I went and visited with my cousin and her husband. And we were talking, and they talked about it, and they're like, well, you should have went to work. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to sit there for 2 hours on a computer when it doesn't take that much to catch up on the stuff you needed to do. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking at the time. Another thing is, they asked, well, like, okay, well, what do you want to do with your life? Like, you don't want to work with children, what do you want to do? And I told them, well, I want to be a photographer. I want to travel the world and take photos. They didn't say you're bad at photos or you can't do that, but it just kind of like, the way they were saying stuff and stating it, that I took it as, I'm not good enough to be a photographer. That there's too many people out there who are already doing it, so you can't do it. That's the way I took it. I took it the wrong way, and that was my fault. Sorry, my back's a little sore. The other time was my grandma, actually. I was talking with her about wanting to be a photographer, and she literally said that. She said, there are too many people out there being photographers. That was it. And I took it like she didn't believe I could do it. And so instead of proving myself to people that I could do this, I quit. I quit, guys. So I really just, like, after that, I didn't try. Like, I totally quit. I stopped taking pictures for years. So that's exactly what I did. I quit that. My mom told me I was good at kids. I had another person tell me I was good at kids, and then I felt pressured into taking early learning and childcare at the closest university or closest college. It was not what I wanted to do. It was hard. I found it was hard getting up in the mornings because I could care less about what I was learning. Not to mention some of the things they were teaching about, I didn't agree with. I do believe in disciplining your kids. They say, no, you can't do that. And I'm just like, sorry, I'll believe God's word where it says, spoil the child, spare the rod. And that is basically it. In this Asian generation, you see kids who are spoiled because they're not disciplined enough, and they act out and they get away with stuff, and it's just completely wrong that's what I believe. It's just completely wrong. I'm going to make this a short video, 20 minutes, maybe a few minutes after 20 minutes, but you can go back into Proverbs 15 verse 4 where it says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." Like I said, people's words crushed me. It crushed my spirit. I didn't go for what I wanted, but if someone were to lift me up, I would want to go for it. But then I have people who actually support what I'm doing right now, and I'm very thankful for them. I really am. So thank you guys. If you ever see this video, thank you so much for your support all the time. But I start to think, okay, yeah, I got this. I can do this. I can totally do this. I'm going to go for it. And then I start to overthink. I start to question it and overthink it, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? Because overthinking is stopping me for what God has planned for me. And I just needed to completely stop doing that. So this is chapter 4, Holding in Your Emotions. This is my lifestyle book. I am still struggling with overthinking. That's where I need the Holy Spirit to give me a sound mind and to rely on Jesus and not look to the world and people's opinions and what they think I'm good at. And I need to learn who I am without anyone's opinions through that. So I just wanted to say thank you all for the support. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope the rest of you have a great day. Bye guys.